12 things that are not used for what they were meant for. Some genius inventions were created by chance, and some were meant for absolutely different purposes but were given a new life.
It's alive!
For example, do you like M&Ms? Well, who doesn't? But are you sure it was invented for kids with a sweet tooth? Perhaps you also genuinely believe that umbrellas have been invented to hide from the rain. If so, you will be surprised while watching this video. We have found a few things that were used very differently in the past. If at least one point is news for you, click the like button. Number 12. Beer mat. It is very likely that most people use beer mats regularly, never giving a thought to the origin of this thing. But do you know that this thing has a name, bierdeckel? This word of German origin can be translated as beer top. This item was created in the 19th century in restaurants with summer terraces. People covered their glasses with this piece of cardboard to protect the drink from insects. People later started to use bierdeckels as drink coasters to protect the table from dripping beer. Do you see how the priorities have changed? By the way, several curious facts about bierdeckels. Carlsberg created the biggest beer mat in the world. Its diameter was about 50 feet, and it was 2.3 inches thick. 5.5 billion bierdeckels are produced in the world every single year. Number 11. Tea. Nowadays, many people can't imagine their day without a cup of tea. But a long time ago in China, tea was used as a tonic drug. What is more, people mostly chewed, not drank it. When tea finally came to Europe, it also became medicine. It was often used in cases of gout. Dr. Cornelius Decker claimed, tea can help those who have one leg in the grave already. He also claimed that it was necessary to drink 50 cups of tea a day, and some people believe that he was well paid by the East India Company. What do you think? Write to us in the comments field below. Number 10. The writing and reading system for the blind. In 1808, Captain Charles Barbier created the night alphabet. This was a special system for the military that allowed people to code messages and read them at night. It was important, as any light could have attracted the enemy's attention. The system had 12 dots in different combinations. They represented sounds. Barbier thought that his invention could also be used by blind people. This was a good decision, and the night alphabet was more comfortable than the Howie system that was in use at that time. Louis Braille, the inventor of the modern system of writing and reading for the blind, was inspired by the night alphabet. Number 9. M&M's candies. Surprisingly, these candies were created for the military during World War II. The plain chocolate melted in the sun, but these candy-coated sweets didn't. The candy entered the mass market only at the end of the 1940s. Do you remember their motto? Melts in your mouth, not in your hand? This is why it was created. By the way, did you know that originally there were 5 different colors of the candies? Violet, red, yellow, orange, and green. No blue, no brown. As for the letter M, it started to appear on these sweets only in the 60s, and even then it looked different. Black, not white. Number 8. Balloon animals. This one may seem completely weird, but the idea of twisting balloons into the figures of animals belongs to the Aztecs. They burned these figures on top of their pyramids as a sacrifice to their gods. To make such balloons, they blew air into the intestines of animals, using the bladder in particular, and tied them with threads made from plants. Sounds yucky and evokes a logical question. Who would want to blow such a balloon up? Number 7. Umbrellas. What is the first association that comes to your mind when you hear the word umbrella? Bet it is the word rain. But wait, did you know that umbrellas were previously used in Europe and China for protection from the sun's rays? What is more, this tradition can also be traced in the names for an umbrella in different languages: zone deck, canopy, and parasol, for the sun. The Chinese were the first nation that used something resembling modern umbrellas for covering the carriages of the rulers. Then the device became popular, and Japan and Korea, later Europe, started to import umbrellas via the Silk Road. At first, only women used this kind of protection from the sun. Actually, umbrellas were regarded as a symbol of femininity equal to modern high heels. That's why, when in 1750, a man was seen on the streets of London with an umbrella on a rainy day, the general public was shocked. Despite the abuse, Jonas Hanway, being an eccentric person, kept using his umbrella. As a result of his courage, umbrellas became the most popular protection from the rain all over the world, not only for women, but men as well. Number 6. Hoods. Different nations around the world have some sort of hoods. However, this detail of clothing became famous thanks to the Order of Friars Minor Capuchin. They also got their name from the French name for a hood, capuchon. The Capuchin friars used hoods to hide their faces. They didn't plan any conspiracies or were afraid of being recognized, no. The thing is that from the point of view of symbolism, this detail meant apostasy and invisibility. Number 5. Cognac. The wine of the Charente region started to sell poorly after the 100 Years' War ended. Only Dutch sailors who sailed to northern Europe bought this wine to sell at their final destination. However, wine couldn't stay fresh during such a long trip. Somebody came up with the idea of transporting distilled wine, as it was cheaper and easier to ship. It had to be mixed with water to get wine. However, it appeared that distilled wine became tasty after it was kept in barrels made of oak. And it could also be drunk without adding any water. This is how cognac appeared. A curious fact, the French themselves aren't real fans of cognac. Only approximately 3% of this alcoholic beverage is drunk in France. The rest is exported, mostly to Asia, 80% of the whole production. Number 4. Standard Windows games. Who doesn't know the legendary Free Cell, Hearts, and Minesweeper? It seems like those games were created for killing time. But don't hurry to the conclusion. In fact, they were created with a specific purpose. At the beginning of the 1990s, when the world had first seen Windows 3.0, many people didn't know how to use a computer mouse. FreeCell was meant to teach people how to do it correctly. And Minesweeper was created to teach people to use the left and the right buttons of a mouse. Who would guess? Number 3. A loop at the back of a shirt. Do you also suffer from this nagging question always at the back of your mind? What is the purpose of the loop at the back of a shirt? There are 3 plausible versions. The first one is that it was designed to hang a shirt on a hook, because, you know, not all people used to have closets many decades ago. What is more, shirts could be hung to dry on a wire line or a rope with the help of the loop. The second version came from the times of detachable collars and neckerchiefs. This loop was probably used for attaching a tie. The third version is the most romantic. A student who studied at an American university cut off this loop to show that he was dating a girl, and the girl was meant to wear the scarf of his college. But what did he do if they split up? Sewed the loop up again? Number 2. The blue part of an eraser. If you ask someone, what is the blue part of an eraser used for? They will tell you that it's used to erase pen ink from paper. Surprisingly, the initial purpose of this part was different. At first, it was meant to erase pencil drawings and writings from thick paper. The red part could have left stains on the paper, but the blue part did the job perfectly. So, which side of an eraser you used depended completely on the type of the paper. Later on, the manufacturers realized that the blue part could erase ink. They turned their discovery into a marketing strategy. From that moment on, you can find a picture of a pen on the blue part of some erasers. Number 1. The 5th pocket in jeans. What is this cute little pocket meant for? The most popular suggestion is that it is meant to carry condoms. Of course, you can put whatever you want into that pocket, but it was initially meant for a different purpose. The fifth pocket first appeared in 1873 in Levi's jeans, and it was used to carry a pocket watch. Even today, this pocket is called the watch pocket in their catalogs and is measured specifically to be able to accommodate the watch of size 16. Even the belt loops are placed in the way convenient for the ring clip chain of the watch. Perhaps they still hope that the fashion for pocket watches will return. If you have found this video entertaining, don't forget to give us a thumbs up and share it with your friends. And if you want to see many more useful videos, subscribe to our channel. Join us on the bright side.